One of the things, now that you brought it up, let me explain the structure of the company, that it has multiple layers, right? I am kind of sitting here 30,000 feet above. Then there are multiple layers of regionals and presidents and COOs and stuff like that. And ultimately, is the end user, whether they are using our product, whether they have a shopping center tenancy, or if they are using one of our apartment complexes. Let me tell you, every tenant, every investor, everybody who has apartments with us, everybody who is an end user, every employee, they all get an email from me at least once every year, if not twice a year. And we call it culture of nine. So what it does, you get an email from me and say, hey, if you know me or if you know my company, rate us on a scale of 0 to 10. And if you rate us less than 9, Dr. Sangani will personally call you to see how we can get you to above 9. And I think this entire layer of hierarchy, I collapse it between the end user and me with one email. I think that's one thing I'm very proud of what we have done, and that has kept me in touch with the end users. Because at the end of the day, end user will define your success or failure. If they are not happy, you are destined to fail someday.
You never had different challenges as you were scaling your business. But what are some of the thoughts there regarding, it sounds like you are a planner. So you're probably doing that in this case too. But what was your biggest challenge in just scaling and having so many people working?
I think the big number one challenge is there are only 24 hours in a day. So the only way you get more hours is you cut your sleeping time. And what helped me was being a cardiologist. My training was designed on that. So I could sleep less, 4 to 5 hours a night, and I could still function fairly well. The second biggest challenge or second biggest monumental task that I had to do was to create a team who believed in you. Now, think about it. Here is a cardiologist, a young guy who is coming from India, and he's telling you, hey, I don't have any business knowledge. Hey, I'm not here to provide you with anything. I'm counting on your expertise to provide me. And the only thing I'm going to do is to provide you with resources. But let me tell you something. You will never have shortage of resources as long as you will perform what you said you will perform. And to sell that philosophy, I tell people I'm not their father or mother. I'm not here to do anything for them. We are here to do things for each other. And if you don't have that mindset, this is not the right company for you to work. And now to put those people together and give them pride of ownership is a task. But let me tell you, we have a bunch of people who have been with me for 20 plus years, and we have created a family 15,000 miles away from my hometown. I'm very happy that I have a great family. That much I can tell you.
No, that's great. I really appreciate you sharing all of that. Bharat, if you're ready, we'll jump into the rapid fire questions and close out this episode.
Absolutely.
What lie do real estate investors often tell themselves?
Everything would be fine.
If you could go back in time and give your younger self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Do not think you are higher than or brighter than anybody else. You'll be fine.
Do you have a book recommendation?
There are 3 or 4 books that I strongly recommend. The one that I really have enjoyed is How to Win Friends and Influence People from Dale Carnegie. And I think that really changed my mind. And the second book I would strongly recommend is My Experiments with Truth. And that's from Mr. Mahatma Gandhi, the father of India. And I think my experiment with truth built my character, and How to Win Friends and Influence People allowed me to speak to others and still convey my messages without offending them.
What single strategy or tool have you implemented that has had the biggest time-saving impact to you or your business?
The biggest time-saving impact is I'm one of the world's most reliable outsourcing guy, delegation guy. But more than that, I also create an accountability. So everything I delegate, I have an accountability factor that is associated with it. And that's how I can do so many things because I'm not doing anything. At this point in my career, I don't think if somebody could breathe for me, I would go ahead and outsource breathing for them. That's how what minute level I've gone to and given away stuff that somebody else can do better than me.